to today's episode of Inspiration Talks. I'm very excited about today's episode. Joining us today is Maggie Song, a certified small business consultant. Maggie is known for her unique approach to business, blending her anthropology with 10 years of corporate expertise to drive innovation, efficiency in the modern business. So, before any delay, let's welcome Maggie. Hi, Maggie, how are you doing today?
Great. How are you, Lepa?
I'm good too. So, Maggie, I would like to start our today's conversation with like, how's your life going on? What do you do? What is your profession?
So I am a wife and mom, and I am trying to start up my own business in doing leadership coaching as well as working full time. So I have a lot on my plate, being a high achiever and all.
So, how do you manage everything all together? Like, you do so many things all together.
I just make sure that I have my dream in mind at the end of all of this, and I'm really working towards creating a better life, a harmony in my life where my family's taken care of and my professional goals as well.
Okay, so how do you manage your work and personal life all together?
I just make sure I stay organized. I'm just lucky I have a partner who's supportive and also organized as well, who I can lean on, because when I go into stress mode, I do get disorganized, and he really is my rock who just takes care of everything when I fall off the wagon.
Okay, that's great to know. So, as you mentioned, you do a job and like you are launching your own company, a coaching business. So can you tell us a little about that?
Yes. So, in my day job, I'm a manager for a local roofing company where I oversee HR, customer service, and the innovation and IT. It's a small company where I wear a lot of hats and I'm very involved. And then at home, I wear multiple hats as well, where I'm the mom, the wife, the decision maker, and I juggle all of that. But I make sure I have plenty of help along the way through either my husband, my family members, his mom, and teaching our kids to kind of help themselves along the way too.
Okay, that's great to know. So what's your dream job? Like, what was your dream job when you were a kid?
My dream job was being a doctor, but I feel like that is just what you say when you're a kid and you have Asian parents who come to America, or maybe I don't know if that's how they think in Asia, but they want you to get into a field that's prestigious. And I felt like that maybe was just the default answer as a kid.
Okay, so like right now, the job that you're doing, are you happy with it? Like, I can understand when you're small, you have different dreams, but when you grow up, you have different dreams, different goals and ambitions. So, have you attained your goals? Like, do you feel satisfied with your goals currently?
I think so far, yes, because I got lucky to be able to work for a company that really allowed me the freedom and flexibility to, learn and grow and do different positions in the company and make decisions on my own, learn new things. So I'm just grateful that I had that experience and being able to kind of um, get into a lot of different things along the way and know what I like and don't like.
Okay, that's great to know. So, I would like to conversate about navigating the model minority stereotype and finding your own path must have required a significant mindset shift. How did you cultivate growth mindset in the face of these stereotypes, and what role has this mindset played in overcoming moments of doubt or when you felt lost?
Sure. So I will kind of go back in my history a little bit to kind of give context to that question of and about the model minority. And for people who don't know what a model minority is, it's when the society you live in, so for me, it's in the US, and they see Asians as the people who are the most successful of all the minority groups, the model citizens, the people who live out the American dream. And growing up as a second generation Asian American, I grew up in a predominantly Asian community. So even though I lived alongside people who looked like me and I went to school around people who looked like me, I still didn't feel like I belong. Like, I don't know if that makes sense because, people are always talking about, oh, we want to show more Asians in the media, in movies and TV shows, but just because they look like me doesn't mean I relate to them. And there were a lot of stereotypes growing up as an Asian American where people are saying, they're musically and academically talented, they earn straight A's, they're good at math, things like that. But for me, I was none of those. I didn't get straight A's. I was not musically talented or academically talented. Um, and it felt like I didn't belong because I didn't live up to those standards. So I ended up in college switching majors. I don't know, maybe like 6, 7 times. I went from a business major to a medical major. And then eventually I found myself loving anthropology, which is just the study of people. And I just figured people are telling me, you need to just earn your degree and go get a job. So if that's the case, you're going to be working with people. And I figured I'll just work with people and know how to work with people and I can get by. Um, so doing that, I landed in a couple of different corporate positions and now I'm in a position where I explained that I was able to earn some freedom to expand my wings and learn and grow within my position. So I kind of got lucky in that sense. Um, and now I just am kind of tired of playing small, where I'm just taking that back seat and saying, yeah, I'll do this in my job, but um, in a way, I kind of want my kids to see that if I can think I can do something, I can do it if I put my mind to it.
You're right, I completely agree. So, as you mentioned, that people used to suggest you that get a degree and and find a job and do the job. So, do you really think after like doing the job, you'll end up immediately in a good job?
No, I don't think that is um
Do you
people get
think?
that lucky.
Yeah, exactly. I'm sorry to interrupt. I have from this, I also have one more addition. Like, do you really think degree matters a lot in getting a job nowadays?
Honestly, no, because I'll take my day job as an example. As I'm hiring to positions in my company, I we overlook the degree part. Um, I would say 90% of the people on my team don't have a bachelor's degree, and they're making decent amount of money to survive and live pretty well lives right now. So I don't think you need a degree to have a good job.
That's what, but nowadays people run after the degrees rather than, making their skills stronger, whichever skills they
Yeah,
have. So,
exactly.
your journey, which you mentioned about your college career, seems to like your journey, which you mentioned from an uncertain college career to success in the corporate world, and now entrepreneurship is a testament to resilience and self-discovery. So, can you share how embracing unconventional choices has shaped your approach to self-leadership and the way you tackle the challenges?
I think accepting that there's no one way to do anything is the key. You know, you might have a different experience than I would, and we could have come from the same area, or, you know, you took one path and I took another, but once I realized that everyone has their own set of unique experiences and challenges, and it's their path that to walk it and not mine, then it's everything just became clear. It didn't matter if my road was windy or it would take me a long time to reach my goals. It just mattered that I lived my life and lived those experiences as true and unique and authentic to myself. And it's not about the destination.
Okay, I can understand. So, making the leap into entrepreneurship, especially while juggling responsibilities as a full-time employee, wife, and mother, requires a strong vision and self-motivation. How do you lead yourself through these transitions, maintain your drive, and what strategies do you use to keep your ambitions in sight despite the complex balancing act of life's various roles?
I think I just have to keep my number one priority in mind always, which are my children and my husband, my family, basically. And just knowing that and keeping that in my heart, guiding me with all my decisions, whether it's personal or professional, has kept me on that path of maintaining, my drive and getting me through all kinds of transitions in my life, like right now, how I'm trying to transition out of corporate into my own business. So, and also having a strong support system is key for me because I have my husband who's my biggest support system. I have a family who's behind me 100%. So having that support system is crucial for me, at least. I would say if anyone is in the same situation, I think the team, the people behind that person, they need to have really good, positive people behind them.
True.
And
Yeah.
how do I cultivate a growth mindset in face of stereotypes?
Yeah.
Well, I, I want to say that growing up and the younger version of me, I had a fixed mindset, and a very negative one. So I would like anything would set me off and make myself think very negatively, even the weather. So for example, maybe the wind is blowing in my face and it makes my hair go in my face, and I would be thinking, great, now my hair is in my face. And it wasn't until I realized that everyone else around me was kind of having that same mindset, and I would receive the same kind of negativity back, not because they're trying to be mean or anything, but because that is how they are, I guess, portraying themselves in their minds. And when I realized that I didn't want that feeling to be around me, I kind of learned to let it go. And once I let that negativity go, it kind of released all of that, I guess, those toxic feelings inside and just released it out into the world. And I learned to slowly cultivate that growth mindset where I started to see all my experiences as an opportunity to learn and grow and become a better person. And when I did that, I feel like I was more at peace and in harmony with myself.
Yeah, you're right. When you see things in a positive way by removing the toxic element from the life, everything shines very brightly. So, would you like to give any tips on how to maintain positivity? Like how to maintain positive mindset?
I think number one, you would have to have clear boundaries. So having clear boundaries and know that what you will and won't, I guess what you will say yes to and what you will say no to, and just keeping that as a guidepost for you. And then within those bounds, you can think of things as, you know what, that's okay when you get into a challenge. You know what, I'll find another way to do X, or you know what, things happen. And when you kind of have that mindset and mentality, things just come easier for you. Where if you had the opposite mindset, then it's like you feel like you're just in a challenge all the time. You're always fighting something. And why don't you just flip the script and think of it as not something you're fighting against, but what are you fighting for?
Exactly, you're right. I completely agree with what you mentioned. You have to see what you're fighting for. So from this, I would like to ask, who inspires you most in life? Like, what's your inspiration?
Um, I think the first person I think of is my daughter because she's like a little version of me, but innocent. She has a blank slate to her where I can see all the possibilities that she has in her brain, what she tells me, what she wants to do with her life. And it's like instead of me telling her, well, this is the reality of life and you can't do this or that, it's more of, yeah, you can. How can I help you get there? So she inspires me to kind of also keep that positive mindset and help her grow. And along the way, I get to grow too.
Yeah, you're right. Sometimes the kids are like they inspire and they teach a lot to elders. So, what advice would you like to give to those who are watching you right now?
Know that your path is your path. You can, you know, take all kinds of detours in your life, but you will end up where you need to be and you'll belong where you need to belong. And don't let other people try to squeeze you into a box where you have to do things a certain way. It's proof where I just kind of explained in my story where there is no one way to do things. There's no one way to go to college. There's no one way to get a job. There's no one way to do a podcast. So, knowing that, you just have to define your own way. You have to find your own way and what works best for you and not let people steer you off your course or judge you for it. Just be authentically you and just do it.
Exactly. I completely agree. Be yourself. Never rely on anyone. Just be independent and also never give up. So, it was great talking with you, Maggie. I really enjoyed having a conversation with you today. I hope you also enjoyed. And thank you for being part of Inspiration Talks.
Well, thank you for having me. I'm so honored to be able to help you inspire other women, and you are an inspiration yourself. So I would like to thank you for doing all the work that you do.
You're most welcome.